Hey traders, this is Miss Put Options. My website is www.MsPutOptions.com, where it can best be accessed through Internet Explorer and not Google Chrome. Today I'm going to be analyzing Priceline, the ticker symbol PCLN, and we're going to be looking at several time frames. Before we get on with my analysis, I want to say first, anybody who tells you without a shadow of a doubt they know where the stock is going to go is a liar. Okay, there is only so much we can do as traders with the lagging indicators that were provided in order to take an educated guess as to where the stock is going to fall. There's so many other factors involved with the direction of the stock. There's news, earnings, dividends, whether the news is bad or good. That can also affect the stock. So do not believe anybody who tells you they know without a shadow of a doubt where the stock is going to land. They're not being truthful. Okay, so there are a couple of things I want to mention before I go on with my analysis. I believe on January the 28th is going to be a Fed meeting, and I believe on December the 19th, 2015, Priceline is going to have earnings. And anybody who knows anything about the Fed meetings and earnings know that the stock has a tendency to go extremely high and extremely low all in one day. So be very, very mindful of that. So as we're looking here at Priceline, the ticker symbol is PCLN. We're looking at a monthly view here. As we cover over this icon here, as I mentioned before, it's going to have earnings on 2/19/2015. As we look at the monthly chart here, you can see Priceline was at a high point here, and then we have a high point here. However, it's a higher low. It was high here, and now it's a higher low. So that's our first indication that the stock is going in a downward trend. And as we look at the parabolic SARs here, we can see that the parabolic SARs are kind of sort of going in a downward trend. The stock is currently trading below the middle Bollinger Band, and it might try to find support here at the lower Bollinger Band here. It is currently trading above the 50-day moving average as well as the 100-day moving average. However, when you're looking at the monthly view, if you look at the volume is terrible. It's not even average for Priceline. The volume is very, very low, and the indicators that I have here are in a downward trend. All right, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. So we're going to look at the weekly time frame and see what the weekly time frames has to tell us. And once again, we have a higher area here, and then we have a low point here. We have the formation of a parabolic star here, saying that the stock is going to go downward, and currently the stock is trading below the 50-day moving average, as well as using the middle Bollinger Band as a source of resistance. It is using support for the lower Bollinger Band as well as the 100-day moving average, is using that as support. Volume here is improving on the weekly. However, as a trader, you should know that the higher time frames have a tendency to dominate the trade, or shall I say the stock. All right, a couple of our indicators are going in a downward direction here. And then we have some crossover areas here. So this is telling me that the stock is going into a downward trend. Now let's look at another time frame. We're going to look at a daily view here of Priceline. We can see here we have an upper gap here, and this gap will eventually be filled. When will it be filled? I do not know. As you can see here, the stock is trading below all the moving day averages, is trading below the middle Bollinger Bands, and the parabolic SARs is going in a downward trend. And it looks like it's going to try to use the lower Bollinger Band as a sense of support. If the stock were to go up, the first area of interest would have to be this middle Bollinger Band here, roughly about 1110 and some change. And then our next area of interest would be the 50-day moving average, and so on and so forth. But currently, I'm believing that the stock is going to use this lower Bollinger Band possibly as support. If that support is broken, then the stock is going to head even lower. All right, so let's look at another time frame here. We're going to look at the 4-hour time frame. Once again, The stock is trading below all of the moving day averages. It's trading below the 20-day moving, the 50, the 100, the 200-day moving average here. The parabolic SARs are going in a downward movement here. Volume is very, very nice. So there was a small attempt to go in a upward direction here, but it looks like that might fail. As you can see, all of our indicators are going in a downward direction here. So that is telling me that it is going in a downward trend here, especially looking at our moving day averages and our parabolic SARs. Alright, so let's look at we're currently looking at a 4-hour time frame. We're going to go ahead to the 2-hour time frame to see what's going on there. And once again, as you can see, it is trading below all of our moving day averages. However, we have the parabolic SARs going in an upward motion here, and it looks like volume is attempting to pick up. However, this is only the 2-hour time frame, and as I told you before, the higher time frames has a tendency to dominate the whole trend of the stock. So even though we have improvement on volume here and the parabolic SARs are going in an upward direction here, the stock is still trading below all the moving day averages. So in order for this to actually go up, our first area of interest would have to be this middle Bollinger Band here if the stock does go in an upward direction. But like I said, I am very bearish on Priceline, looking at all of the time frames that I'm telling you about. Okay, so we're looking at a 2-hour time frame, and so we're going to go to a 1-hour time frame here and see what's going on there. So we wait for that to generate. That might take a little time. And it's already generated here, and as you can see, it's trading below the 50-day moving average and all the other moving day averages, including the 20-day moving average. We have the parabolic SARs, one little dot here, so that's telling me the stock is going downward. The only thing in our favor is that the stock is currently trading outside the lower Bollinger Band. That might be an indication that the stock might want to move upward slightly to get back into the Bollinger Band area, or this Bollinger Band area will expand wider and the stock is going to drop downward. As you can see, volume has picked up nicely on the 1-hour time frame. All of the indicators are going in a downward direction, so that's another indication that the stock is probably going to be bearish and not bullish on this coming Monday. So let's look at the 30-minute time frame, and I believe that's going to be our last time frame. So if we look at the 30-minute, that's generating. You can see it is trading below all of our moving day averages. It's trading slightly outside the lower Bollinger Band. So we'll probably try to snap back in the Bollinger Band probably around the opening bell. We'll probably try to snap back within that Bollinger Band area there. But as you can see, it's trading below all our moving day averages. The parabolic SARs are going in a downward trend, and so are all our indicators here. However, it looks like our Williams percentile is ready for upward motion here. But like I said, the higher time frames have a tendency to dominate the trend. And so the higher time frames are definitely telling us that this stock is going to be bearish and not bullish. Okay, so this is Ms. Put Options. This is your free video. My website is www.msputoptions.com, where it can best be accessed through Internet Explorer and not Google Chrome.